Alright guys, so you'll have to excuse me for my voice in this video is it's all sore, got a sore throat at the moment. It's all this cold weather. I've been outside in the evenings an awful lot, and so it's just kind of bogging me down a bit. Anyway, just wanted to make a quick video, and I wanted to reference quickly to all of this forced positivity on YouTube. Now, I'm not the first person to cover this topic. There's other people in bigger channels and things like that that have talked about this, but the reason why I want to bring it up is because obviously you guys who watch my channel are a bit more normal people, like myself. You're business owners usually, you know, and you just kind of want to connect with people who are going to lift you up, build you up, and anything that's positive. So one of the things that I noticed is that I looked at a lot of channels over the last couple of years and been watching people trying to get inspiration, trying to get advice and encouragement, if you want, ideas of what way to kind of grow my business this direction or that way. So I really wasn't sure what I was going to be doing, but I was happy to be able to be informed and be influenced by other people who are willing to share their good experience and their knowledge, if you want. So one of the things that I come across with this is that there's a lot of people who we tend to have this kind of attitude of we've always got to put our best, you know, our best foot forward. We've always got to show people the best version of ourselves, which is absolutely fine, and it's really good. It's a kind of part of the psychological you know, work of everything, how we put everything together. Sorry, looked like a guy who's competition here. It's kind of like how we put our mind together of what we need to do for the business, what we need to do for the business, what we need to do when we're connecting with people, how we leave an impression. That all kind of boils down to, you know, how we interact, how we present ourselves to others. Obviously we have this desire for people to like us, especially if we're on YouTube. We want people to be able to relate to us. We want people to be able to know that, you know, we're on the same level, that we're trying to kind of connect with people and everything in a positive way. And that's really good. But on the other hand, it's also kind of lures people into a false sense of reality, because, you know, my business is growing and I'm very, very happy and pleased about that. But it took so much mistakes, so many mistakes on my part, and so many times I was kind of doing things wrong. And the only way that I realized I was doing it wrong at the time, I kind of thought to myself, well, do you know what, I've got X amount of years in business, I've been doing this near 20 years, etc. And I'm thinking to myself, I relied too much on my own understanding, if you want. And so that's where I kind of started to change things about and say, right, do you know what, I want to be influenced by other people. I don't want to think inside the box anymore. I want to be inspired, I want to be motivated, I want to be creative, I want to move forward, and I want to share that with people. But like I said, there's this kind of thing that I notice with other channels, that there's always this forced positivity, and that's absolutely fine. It's normal. I think it's just part of that whole mental kind of inclination that people have when it comes to YouTube. There's a certain type of mentality when you're making videos and you're worried about what people think, and what the impressions are, etc. So one thing that I want to do is I just want to kind of re-emphasize some of the points that I've noticed in other channels as well, is that people will claim to be this, and really what's going on behind the scenes people don't really know. And what I have noticed with some people is that they're moving in on this early stage kind of communities that are being developed on YouTube. There's a lot of people that are connecting on forums, on in business groups, on Facebook, and it's great. There's a real share of information, but there's also a lot of negativity to it as well. And with YouTube, there's a lot of people now who are getting the confidence to start making videos, and they're saying, this is what you got to do. You know, I've got a book out now, I've got a, you know, a course, an intensive training course for you to do. You know, I'll be your mentor. Yeah, that's not a problem. For $1,500, I'll phone you 3 times a month, blah blah blah. there's all this kind of thing going, depending on what kind of industry or trade you're looking at. I tend to look at a number of different trades because I do a number of different services, and that's what I notice, is that there's a lot of wolves there. There are people who are there that genuinely want to help, but there's also a lot of people who, in my opinion, are out for their own advantage, and they will take advantage of you and anybody else that they can along the way. And so that forced positivity can mislead people. Sorry, I'm spitting here. That forced positivity can mislead people into thinking that this guy has all the answers. This is the guy that I need to get all my information from. But the thing is, if you're a business owner or you're thinking of starting your own business, you have a lot of that spark, that entrepreneurial spirit in yourself already. So when you're taking information from other people and advice from other people, take it with a pinch of salt. It's something that I'm trying to highlight in all my videos now, is take my information with a pinch of salt, because I don't have all the answers. I'm still learning. And if anybody who proclaims to be the know-it-all of their industry and try to share that with you for a fee, they haven't got it all figured out either. And if they think that they've learned everything that there is to be learned, then you are making a big mistake in terms of trying to take advice from somebody who thinks so much of themselves that they don't need to learn. The whole thing about being in business, I have found, and it's one of the most enjoyable parts of the business as well, is learning, continuing to learn, continuing to be influenced, continuing to be motivated, inspired, creative, and have that drive and push forward. But just be careful. I want to say that, just be careful with certain channels out there, certain individuals. And you can always tell, you know, I notice with some of these channels, it's really good that people are able to kind of connect on a level with people, and then their channels evolve and they start getting subscribers because people are attracted to this genuine kind of attitude that people kind of show. But like I said, there's sometimes these kind of alternative motives that people have, and so it can lead them into where you're thinking, oh great, this guy's actually going to share his information now, but the thing is, they're trying to line their own pockets. You are already inclined to know a lot of this information. Sometimes getting these courses and things will speed that up, but at the same time, just be aware that somebody's getting something out of it. If they're going to try and sell you something, it's with the intention to make money for themselves. It's not with the intention out of the goodness of their heart to say, here's my information, use it, take it. They're wanting something in return. Now, as that kind of community and subscribership grows, and that audience grows, and the possible revenue that grows with that from the amount of sales that they can make, you can see that sometimes then, I wonder just how much genuine motive was in there in terms of trying to share the information, or was it part of a pre-existing motive all along? There's a lot of wolves out there. There's a lot of wolves. And I noticed on a couple of videos, people kind of mentioned about how they've reached out to others and they've just been shocked then by the kind of the sheer arrogance of people. And that's something that I've noticed. I'm only a small time channel. I don't profess to be the guru. I don't profess to be a wizard or know it all with business. Everything I've kind of studied a lot for my business to start moving it in the right direction after so many years, trying to kind of keep up with the latest trends, etc., and it's moving in the right direction. Either way, I just kind of wanted to make this video to let you guys know, just be aware that there are people out there who are there to try and take advantage of you. You might be a most genuine, ordinary person with a lot to offer, a lot of drive and inspiration, and you're kind of wanting to feed off that positivity, but just be aware that sometimes that positivity has a bit of darkness in behind it, and that's kind of what I noticed about YouTube. But for the most part, most things are positive. Most channels are genuine. Most people are kind of just doing their thing and they want to share it, and I love that. But you do get the odd one, and I think it's only fair to kind of say that whole forced positivity, it's sometimes what we kind of present as a defense mechanism for ourselves, so that we're kind of moving forward confident in what we do. but at the same time we're only human, and there's things that we'll always make mistakes on, and we don't kind of show those things. You know, whether it's a person who's really creative, really positive and motivating and pushing forward with their business, able to grow their business, etc. But behind the scenes, there's so many people who are really positive, but behind the scenes they kind of struggle with whether it's self-esteem or whether it's just other kind of mood disorders and things like that. And those kind of things can have an impact on how the realistic kind of version of themselves is put forward to people. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to be open and honest about the mistakes you make, because ordinary people who are watching these videos, just like me, just like you, we can connect with people who make mistakes. And sometimes we can think people, oh, this guy's got it all figured out, or that guy's got it all figured out, or that girl's got it all figured out. The truth of the matter is they're no different than you. They weren't created better than you. You weren't created lesser than them. We are all created the same, but we are unique in our own right. And don't ever forget that. Alright guys, that's a bit of a rant there for about 11 and a half minutes. Gotta get back to work. See you later.